Thank you so much, Larry. I'd be happy to, and I really appreciate you having me here. It is an honor to get to serve you in the same community. As you mentioned, I am the author of five best-selling books: How to Financial Advisor Marketing Magic, Real Estate Marketing Magic, Cutting Edge Marketing Magic, Online Marketing Magic, and what we're talking about today, the Facebook Ninja. If I could show you a way to put your marketing message in front of your competition's customers, how many of you would want to get that? Here's what we're talking about. Now, if you had come to me come to my marketing firm 2 years ago and talked to me about Facebook, I probably would have told you it was a waste of time. I know that is heresy for a social media marketing guru to say, but their advertising platform wasn't 1/10 of what it is now. Let me explain to you what changed and what made all the difference in the world. So we all have a stack of these in our wallet, credit cards. And when you sign a contract with Visa or MasterCard swear that they will protect your data. Your data is private with them. And they have told you the truth. However, when you take your card down to Starbucks or you go online and you swipe your card through a physical terminal or you punch in your credit card information online, Visa doesn't handle that part of the transaction. That part of the transaction is handled by a credit card processor. Do you know who they are? I highly doubt it, because they don't have a relationship with you, the customer. They have a relationship with the merchant, Starbucks. They have no relationship with you as a customer. There are no rules around what they can or can't do with their data, and they can do whatever they want with it. And for decades, they've been selling your data. They've been selling it for direct mailing purposes. And some of the biggest marketers in the world have been using that data for direct mail, because in order to make it cost effective on a per person basis, you really had to be mailing millions of pieces. So you had to be spending a lot of money. The thing that changed is we can now mine that data in 24-hour time. So I can see what you had for lunch yesterday, and I can append that data to Facebook and advertise in your news feed based on what you had for lunch yesterday, based on any book you bought, based on any info product you bought, based on any event ticket that you bought, and based on anything that shows up on your credit report, including your job, how much money you make, your mortgage, what kind of car you bought, when you bought it, and how much you paid for it. This data, the ability to append it to social media, is about 9 months old. So remember when Google AdWords came out 15 years ago? And you could buy clicks for pennies, and it was the wild, wild west, and Perry Marshall figured it all out? That's what this is. This is the wild, wild west right now, because nobody's doing it, because honestly, they don't know about it. So let me give you a couple case studies from some of our marquee clients. So you can see the power of this. This is Greg Presti, who runs Local Search for Dentist, which recently got on the Inc. 500 list. I'd like to take a tiny bit of credit for that, but most of it goes to Greg. And Greg does local SEO for dental practices. So he said, get me dentists, which I can see by profession. He said, I want dentists who make a certain amount of money. I can see income. He says, I want dentists who are of a certain age range. I can target age. I can geo-target if you want, down to the congressional voting district if you need me to. And he said, I want dentists who are interested in marketing. So I want them buying marketing books. I want them buying Dan Kennedy books. I want them buying The E-Myth Dentist by Michael Gerber. I want them buying Made to Stick. I want them into growing their business. So we built that, we mined the credit card data, we built that audience, and this was one of the ads we ran, that was driving them to a squeeze page where there was a video that you opted in for to watch the next video, which told you what the powerful patient getting trick was, which then obviously sold you on a strategy session or buying Greg's services. We drove 16,502 dentists to his website for 5 cents each, and we got a click-through rate on this particular ad of about 5.5%. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, on Facebook, anything over 1% click-through rate on Facebook is considered good. So 5.5 is really good. So Greg was very, very happy. You might recognize this guy. This is Jack Canfield, and he's smiling not only because he's the best-selling author of the best-selling book of all time, Chicken Soup for the Soul, but because in 7 days we were able to drive $2.2 million in sales through his funnel that he did with Steve and Bill Harrison for bestsellerblueprint.com. We ran over 200 different campaigns for Jack based on different ways of slicing and dicing that credit card data. And one example was we ran an ad in front of Writer's Digest customers. Because if you're going to buy a product on how to write a bestseller. Who wants to write a bestseller? People who are interested in writing a book, presumably Writer's Digest customers. 13,257 customers saw it. 553 went to the Bestseller Blueprint website. 270 opted in. That's a 48% opt-in rate. If you've been around this business any length of time, you know anything over 10% is usually considered good, so 48 is great. 452 of those people shared it on their news feeds and talked about it with other people. And to get those 270 opt-ins, the ad spend was $250.95, literally 92 cents an opt-in. How many of you would pay 92 cents for a qualified opt-in? Presumably everybody's raising their hand, right? This is a financial advisor that we're doing marketing work for, putting butts in the seats at physical seminars. Now, this was a really unique case study because in his town, the IBM server division was merging with Lenovo. So the IBM server employees had to make a decision in the next 60 days what they were going to do with their pension and 401k. And Brian said, I want to get in and serve those IBMers, as we called them. But you can't buy a mailing list of IBM employees. You can't advertise in the IBM employee newsletter. We tried. They wouldn't take any outside ads because they have their own financial services firm that they've endorsed that they want to help their employees. So there was no way he could get in front of them. We put our thinking caps on and I said, hey, listen, I can see employee data. I can see where you work. So I can run an ad in front of every IBM employee in your town. Now, there are 5,000 IBM employees in this town. They weren't all affected by the merger. But what we did was we ran the first ad said, like our page if you're in the IBM server division. So they clicked on it. They liked the page. We built up an audience for this specific page of IBM server employees. Then we offered them a free report, the 7 biggest mistakes IBMers make when taking their pension. And then the free report upsold them on attending a live seminar. He got over 31 butts in the seats in less than 2 weeks. It was the world's fastest copywriting when I wrote that 26-page lead generation report in 48 hours. Past performance, no guarantee of future success, but we were able to fill his event and he was very, very happy. So, how do you get this all implemented in your business? How do you get this done for you? How do you not only find out how to analyze the spending patterns of your customers and find out who else they're buying from, but how do you get your marketing message in front of your competition's customers? If you'll fill out the form below, you can schedule a complimentary strategy session with us, and we can talk to you about how this can work in your business. That is absolutely right. It is a much more laser-focused, micro-targeted way of doing Facebook pay-per-click advertising. We have had companies that had outside Facebook agencies handling their accounts, and they gave us their creative, and we ran it with our data, and it was dramatically more effective than what they had paid for from the agency because, again, we were advertising to buyers.